So you got to clean up that crime scene. Charlie Kirk. Remember how they would bulldoze schools and the 9/11 debris just whoosh, shipped overseas overnight? Okay, so people are concerned about digital currency, social credit scores. You know, it's coming. That's what they're building. No, it's here. It's here. It's about Palantir.
Securing schools, we think we can absolutely lock down schools so that dramatically reduce the case of anyone being on campus that doesn't belong on campus, and immediately alert. Second, someone pulls out a gun, immediately alert. Use AI cameras to immediately recognize that.
Palantir AI, that is the apparatus. That's like HAL 9000 from Space Odyssey 2001. That's Minority Report. It is here. It is being implemented. It's here now. Just like everything is tied to how well you serve the banks. Your credit score being run is grown. That's just slavery. They need to make sure you are serving the banks first. That is how you establish moral standing. Okay, so Washington, D.C. is not part of the United States. It's a nation state. It's under foreign control. That's why you have the gold fringe flag in courtrooms. It's also referred to as a Jolly Roger, sort of an older term. It represents maritime law. Maritime law is law of the sea. So in other words, we're ruled over an ocean. That's why courtrooms are wood. They look like old ships. The issue is, apparently, throughout history, there's always ample sociopaths and psychopaths to serve the will and to serve the agenda of these evil people, evil bloodlines. Even their badges across every agency, to include the military and police, is loaded with occult symbolism. They'll do their bidding. There's never been a shortage. A Roman Empire, a Roman guards, 20th century Europe, within their own communities. It's not an invading force per se, but humans will do awful things to other humans just because it gives them an evil sense of power. That's when they say humans are fallen. Humanity has fallen. So which brings us to summer. Some people call it Sumeria. It's cradle of civilization. They say, well, that's when the Nephilim fell down, the fallen angels, the Nephilim. Okay, so summer is where we were gifted or granted by some entity. You can call them aliens, demons, fallen angels, whatever. That's when we have agriculture. Corn was big, wheat, written language. Everything that we quote-unquote enjoy today, even though we need anxiety medicine and sleeping pills, everything we enjoy today came from there. It's over near Iraq is the general area, which leads to another point. I've heard it surmised that the Vatican is going to be sort of closing down, shutting down, essentially relocating.
We don't want war. Stop the war. This war is of no use to us. I don't know how they waged the war again. We haven't even rested from the first one for them to launch the second one. We are tired. My daughter here has a heart condition and has a head injury.
So that would make all this Gaza and all this destruction in the West Bank, et cetera, just expanding territory for what's to come. Okay, so summer was the cradle of civilization. As far as I can tell, then Egypt was the next sort of radical power structure. It encircles the entire earth with the pyramids and the obelisks all around the earth. Washington, D.C. Of course, the pyramids, Egyptologists are there to hide the true origins. They said it's chisels. They used chisels to build all that. Everything's impossible. It's a complete lie. There is some purpose for the design. If you look inside, you could do an entire study. Obviously, people have dedicated their lives to of the inner workings inside the pyramids. They were purpose built. So, and then you go to the Roman Empire. In the Roman Empire, they say it fell. I don't think it did. I think it rebranded a Holy Roman Empire and then morphed into the Vatican.
An indulgence can be obtained by completing the work attached to it, receiving Holy Communion, and praying for the intentions of the Pope.
This is a carbon tax, and if you say otherwise, it's a heresy.
The Church can grant indulgences even in times of crisis.
And they were very influential in the rise of the Nazi regime. The Catholic Church was influential. That was not an organic rise. I used to hear, oh, well, Hitler was such a good speaker; he could inspire people. No, he was a puppet. He was put there. Look at all the changes that came after World War II. Small businesses, a lot of them just went under. They were absorbed by larger corporations.
Ask them to go in there with all they've got. Win just one for the Kipper.
As did the American population worshiping its military, seeing it as some Christ-like figure that is there to save the world and not to further establish and maintain our occult leaders' grip on humanity. And now the American military budget eclipses things that could actually help us, such as infrastructure, medical, homelessness, livable wages, etc. Operation Paperclip. Basically, all the Nazi scientists, etc., they were big in rocketry, excelled tremendously in rocketry. They just formed NASA, and all their other admins and henchmen came over here. And the ruse was, oh, we need the talent. We're recruiting the talent. They weren't necessarily evil, so they're over here. And a lot of the companies are still thriving. IBM is one. Now imagine, if you will, that the same bloodlines have been ruling the world since Sumeria, since the birth of civilization. These bloodlines have been interlinked from Sumeria, or Sumer, from Sumer to Egypt to Rome, and that's where the seat of power is currently held, behind the scenes.
Welcome to The Time Machine. We are going to take you back. First to the year 1939, when Charlie Chaplin and his evil Nazi regime enslaved Europe and tried to take over the world. But then an even greater force emerged. The Un. And the Un Un-Nazied the world forever.